Hello and welcome to my channel. I was lucky enough to have two people who gave me the option to make a video out of the readings with a rune board. The second one left me the choice what other oracle I was going to use along with the board, and I have chosen Ethony Dawn's runes, witches runes. This is my version of it, made on cardboard paper and printed. Those are her symbols, and I printed them and just scotched them on it, which have a lot of different aspects we can pay attention to. And I think, or what I experience, is that with the runes on one side and the witches runes on the other side, it is a little bit that two questions are answered, the what and the how, and that is why I'm going to use them. There are 22 of them. I'm not going to use all of them, but to have a number that seems to fit. We're the 14th today, so I'm going to use 14 of the runes. And again, I'm just going to use the ones that show the upper face. So we're going to use those runes, and I'm going to read them along with the rune board. So please let me switch the camera. But first of all, thank you very much to give me the opportunity to use this reading. So again, let me shortly explain. Those readings are no typical future reading. There may be aspects that tell you something about the future, that tells you something about a moment, but it will not be on January this is going to happen, or it will happen after 3 months or something like that. It is always linked to our mindset. And if we are developing and evolving in our mindset, things may happen faster, or they may happen slower in our life, or slightly different. They always happen. The subject is there. We are not going to change the subject. So the reading is not going to tell anything about what is going to happen, but tells you maybe what is important, what should you focus on, what should you pay attention to. Okay, let me just take the ones away. So let me start with the first rune that lies in Raido, and we have the I in Raido, lying in Raido. So Raido has a lot to do with the voyage, and also has to do, what I forgot to say before, has to do with communication. And the I is someone watching us, not always in the best way. So whatever decision you are going to make, whatever next step in your own voyage you are going to make, whatever you are going to say to other people, whatever you are going to mention, what you're going to express in your voice, become aware that there will be people listening and judging you for it. That does not mean that now you have to be careful about I don't want to hurt that person, because some people simply feel hurt or feel the need to judge you. But to become aware that whatever we are doing, whatever step we are making, it will have consequences, especially concerning our entourage. So it is not whatever you are going to do right now, it is not something that will be stay closed. It will be in a certain way, even if you are not aware of it, it will be in the open. So that is the first rune, the first set. So decide carefully what you're going to do, who you're going to talk to, who is next to you when you're going to talk to someone else. The next rune I want to talk about lies on two runes. So first of all, it lies on Urus, which is our initial force, not simply our initial force, the initial energy, the absolute spark where everything comes from, but also our own initial energy. And it lies on Nauthits too, which has a lot to do with a necessity, that whatever is being done or whatever cannot be done for the moment being, it will be something that is absolutely necessary. So it will be something that comes, I'm pretty sure that it is something that comes from the deep inside, that there is a certain urge to do something, and there is a certain need actually to do something. Maybe it is something that has been staying there for too long and needs to be done. It doesn't necessarily mean that it has something to do with the outside world. Maybe it is a decision for your own mindset that you want to change, and where you feel that now is the moment to stop thinking into a certain way, or to start thinking into a different way. It can be something that is utterly inwards, but it is important and it is necessary. And the symbol that you have here is actually, first of all, connecting those two. This inner urge, this inner spark, and this inner force, and this necessity to bring that force into your mind at least. And this symbol is actually telling you that you are protected while doing this. So it doesn't mean that this has anything to do with that. Maybe even if you are not following this urge, or this thing that is so necessary to be changed, that could be that then it comes to the open, and that is what will have consequences, because people are watching you and are judging you because of it. We stay in this idea of mindset because the next one is the crossroads, and the crossroad has a lot to do with our decisions that we have to take. Are you going to go left, to go right? And the north, you see, it is shown a little bit differently. There is the north, and that one shows to the rune of Isa. And Isa is the ice rune. So it is the moment that things are stuck. So they are... You're not going to move out of that rune. And this symbol actually shows that this is actually where you need to go. Because Isa may be the moment that we are stuck, but it is the moment where we are gathering the forces that we need for a next step. So consider you have Isa, you have Urus. So if you go through this, when you accept a situation where you become aware that you are stuck, and you say, okay, now I'm going to sit this situation out, and I'm going to use that moment where I cannot do anything to gather the force to do later on what is necessary, then it becomes a whole picture. And all this is bound on Yera. So I told you just before that there isn't much, that this reading, it doesn't have much to do with time. Yera actually is for a year, but it has a lot to do with the seasons of a year. It has a lot to do with our own rhythm, with our inner seasons. Again, this seems to be showing again that it has a lot to do with wherever you are for the moment being, just stay for that moment. It is not the moment to move. And you have the bird in there. The bird has a lot to do with communication, and it doesn't seem to be an outside communication. All this especially is rather showing an inside communication. I don't know if you do things like that, but maybe you want to go into the direction of inner child communication, or you want to go to do an inner family system constellation, or to write down what thoughts come up, to give them a voice in a certain way. This is something that seems to have a lot to do with what goes on inside of you. And it's not the moment, again, to move for the moment being. There is a lot later on. There is a lot of things that have to do with movement again, but not right now. I would like to take a look at the two runes that are lying, the witches' runes that are lying one above the other. So you have the cornucopia, which has a lot to do with wealth that you that you can get as a result, and the development. So whatever development and evolution there is, it is an evolution that goes into two directions, as well as an inner wealth as an outer wealth. So that is why this other line, this line here, was so important. And I know I'm going to move them to show you. It lies on Evas. Evas is the symbol of the horse. It has a lot to do with movement. So if you sit this out and you gather the energy that you need for this, then it will come and it will start moving all by itself. So there you can see there is Evas. So it is going to move all by itself, and it will run smoothly in a certain way, and it goes further into that direction because you have the symbol of a gate, and the gate actually lies onto Lagos. Lagos is the flow, so it shows you, like, it's a little bit like when ice, water in form of ice is actually an immense force that is just stuck somewhere, and the moment the sun shines on it, it starts flowing again, and it can become gushing, but it will become a flow first of all when it starts getting out of that blocked situation. And it shows you, it goes into that step from you need that ice moment, you need that moment to just stop and not just go on and try to hurry along. It is very important to become aware of that moment that you are stuck and to accept it as what it is, a moment to gather the strength to go into this. And it goes the whole way through, because even at the end you have the money in the hands. And the money in the hands is showing, again, whatever you are gaining, you will have the opportunity to invest it. It lies on two runes. It lies on daggers, which is the breakthrough. So the ice where all the things were stuck, again, it can be a flow on one side, it will be a huge breakthrough on the other side. And Othila, which is the rune, or Othala, which is the rune of coming home. Home doesn't simply mean a house. It might be in your situation. I don't know your situation. It may be the situation that finally you get a house, or you can invest in a house, in a home, in your home, or it has something to do with investing inside of yourself, in yourself. So money as well as energy. It can be money because you say, I will have the opportunity to invest money to get classes that I need to do what I want to do, where I want to planify my life into a certain direction. But this is something, it will not happen. This part is not going to happen if you're not going to do this. Moving into that ice situation, moving into that stop, becoming aware that you need that stop, that break, to gather the energy, to do what is necessary, and to be in communication with yourself, to have a good communication. It's more important for the moment being to have the communication with your own rhythm, with your own energies, than to have it outside, because outside it might be heard by people who shouldn't be hearing it. And only if you do that, then there is a great opportunity for you that all this is becoming a flow that really works. And it works. It shows again how well it will work, because it is lying on the symbol of Weird, which is really our pure energy, the things even we do not know. So maybe you will even get opportunities from places you never knew there was a possibility, because the world is going to open up to you in different ways and on different levels. So let me try and get this into one image again. For the moment being, it is not a very good idea to communicate too much. You will have the need to communicate, and there are things you go to work, you will need to communicate. That's logical. But it is far more important to gather the strength for your own evolution, for your own value and your own wealth, so that it can come into the flow, and it will end up with energy in any kind of way, money or energy that you can invest into something that brings you home and that brings you a home. That is the point of it. So please, I don't want to warn you, but really, if you find that you're stuck somewhere, please accept that moment, and the flow will come again. but not if you try to break free from this all by yourself. This is not going to work. I hope this gives you an idea where the reading is heading for. I hope this gives you something to think about. This gives you ideas of how to handle the situation you may be in. I can only say you may be in because I have no idea what situation you are in. And I hope that this is going to also bring you, I don't like the word hope, because people are hoping for the rest of their life, but will give you something to focus on that goes a little bit further than the situation you may be in for the moment being. And again, thank you for giving me this opportunity.